Hey guys, as a veteran ICU nurse, want to know why my answer to anyone who asks my advice on becoming a nurse is simply don't? Then keep on watching. You won't believe my number one reason to avoid this career choice. Welcome to the Story Weaver After Dark, where the veil is thin, the lights are low, and the stories are real. My name is Weaver. For nearly 20 years, I walked the halls of ICUs, where life and death danced far too often, and shadows whispered secrets only a nurse could hear. This channel isn't just storytelling, it's therapy, a ritual, a reckoning, and perhaps a warning wrapped in shadow. After 2 decades in the trenches of healthcare, I needed a way to unravel the weight I carried, and maybe help others do the same, or warn them about the true nature of the field. The things I've seen, some are heartbreaking, some are beautiful, others dark, twisted, unexplainable. I won't soften the edges, only the raw, unfiltered truth lives here. So, if you're brave enough, curious enough, maybe even haunted enough, grab a blanket, dim the lights, and come closer, because it's time for another tale after dark.
So you're thinking about becoming a nurse? It's one of the most respected professions, and there's no denying the impact nurses have on the world. But before you take the plunge, let's have a serious conversation about the realities of the job. This isn't to scare you, it's to prepare you. Here are the top 5 reasons not to become a nurse, counting down from 5 to the most alarming. Let's get into it. Number 5. Nurses are held to an extraordinary standard. One mistake, just one, and your entire life could change. Imagine this. You're running on no sleep after a 12-hour shift, juggling multiple patients, and you accidentally administer the wrong dosage of medication. The consequences? You could lose your license, face malpractice lawsuits, or even end up in jail. Take the case of Redonda Vaught, a nurse who made a medication error and was criminally prosecuted. Vaught incorrectly administered vecuronium instead of Versed as ordered, without patient monitoring. She immediately reported the error, but her patient died as a result. Acquitted of reckless homicide, Vaught was ultimately found guilty of 2 felonies, gross neglect and negligent homicide. She was sentenced to 3 years of supervised probation. Nurses are human. We make mistakes. I've made mistakes. It's the most horrible feeling in the world. And it's terrifying to think that a person who has devoted their life to helping people and saved countless number of lives can lose everything, including their freedom, in a heartbeat. It's rare that these cases are tried in court, but the fear of this happening is always in the back of every nurse's mind. Number 4. Nursing isn't just hard, it's brutal. You'll be on your feet for hours, lifting patients and responding to emergencies. Over time, it takes a toll on your body. Many nurses end up with chronic back pain, knee issues, or even long-term injuries. Mentally, it's even worse. Watching patients suffer or die, dealing with families in crisis, and feeling powerless in the face of overwhelming workloads, it's enough to wreck anyone. I've never met a nurse who doesn't have some sort of issue, either physically or mentally, due to the work we do. The higher powers in healthcare who run the hospitals and determine how employees are treated have no empathy for these issues. They just want robotic employees who never get sick, never complain, and will literally work themselves to death. I personally knew a nurse that tragically passed away on the job due to all the stress she had been under due to work. You may ask why she continued. Well, we have to. We get calls every day to come in and fill in when we can. Management will guilt us, sometimes threaten us, force us to work overtime with threat of losing our jobs. We never truly get downtime. It's difficult to leave the job at the door. There's not adequate mental health care offered to nurses, and we forego going to the doctor ourselves because we're expected to be superheroes. The burnout rate for nurses is staggering, and the mental health crisis in this field is real. It has affected me personally as well. I have a list of issues that I currently suffer from, which I will detail in another video. I can say that I no longer work as a bedside nurse as a result, but was able to find a wonderful nurse job away from the bedside. If I hadn't found my current job, I honestly don't know what I would have done. I was extremely lucky to find the job I have, but unfortunately, that doesn't happen for everyone in the same situation. Most times when things like this happen, you just get discarded and forgotten like yesterday's trash. Number 3, more responsibility, less patient care. Nurses are drowning in paperwork, charting every detail to satisfy administrative and legal requirements. Instead of spending time with patients, you'll find yourself stuck behind a computer, documenting everything. Hospitals are treating nurses like clerks, piling on responsibilities that take us further away from what we're here to do, care for people. And with staffing shortages, it's only getting worse. With hospital budget cuts, they take away what help we do have. I can't express how much nurses love our ancillary staff like nurse assistants, monitor techs, and nurse clerks. But they are becoming a rare commodity. It's difficult and near impossible to do our jobs without them. But most hospitals I've worked at no longer employ them. They're more concerned with the bottom line and how much money the hospital is spending and making. Patient safety should be priority, but in my experience, that's usually not the case. Ancillary staff is like our techs and secretaries are usually the first thing to go, leaving all that responsibility on the nurses. Number 2, the dangers you face every day. Nurses are on the front lines, exposed to deadly diseases like COVID-19, tuberculosis, and even Ebola. Protective equipment helps, but it's not foolproof. Think about the pandemic. Nurses were reusing masks, working without proper gear, and putting themselves at immense risk. Some paid the ultimate price. It's a constant reminder that your health is always on the line. And that's all I have to say about that. And finally, the number 1 reason, violence. Nursing is one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Every day, nurses are verbally and physically attacked by patients or their families. According to a report by National Nurses United, 8 in 10 nurses, 81.6%, have experienced at least one type of workplace violence within the past year. Nearly half of nurses, 45.5%, reported an increase in workplace violence on their unit in the previous year. In contrast, only 3.8% of nurses reported that workplace violence has decreased on their unit in the previous year. Nurses experience multiple types of workplace violence on a daily basis, ranging from physical abuse to verbal threats. The 3 most common types of violence reported were being verbally threatened, 67.8%, physically threatened, 38.7%, and being pinched or scratched, 37.3%. 6 in 10 RNs report having changed or left their job or profession, or considered leaving their job due to workplace violence. Imagine being hit, spit on, or even threatened while just trying to do your job. And the worst part? There's little to no protection. Hospitals often downplay incidents, and nurses are expected to just endure it. I've personally been hit, kicked, punched, scratched, swore at, and threatened so many times I've lost count. I've had legitimate threats to my life from people carrying guns in their car. The hospital did nothing and flat out told me they would not back me if I called the police. They refused to even ban the assailants from the hospital. When I told them I was not comfortable coming to work with those people there, their response was, "Well, guess we'll take that as you calling in." And then I was promptly reprimanded for calling in. Again, you're just a body to management. They could care less about your well-being. They say they do, but honestly, not really. Hospitals are a business, first and foremost. They will wipe their hands of anything that may disrupt that business unless they are forced to have to deal with it. I know nurses who are on permanent disability due to being physically attacked by patients. And it can be even worse. Violent situations can even turn deadly. Justin Bautista, a 29-year-old LPN, was stabbed and killed by a patient in August 2023. Joyce Grayson, a 63-year-old home health nurse, was killed October 2023. 11 months prior to that, in December of 2022, 56-year-old home health nurse Douglas Grant was shot and killed by a patient's family member. Peter Wright, 44, a critical care charge nurse, was shot and killed in March 2008 by a patient's family member because he blamed the death on the nurse, even though the patient passed from natural causes. And these are just a few cases. This isn't a rare occurrence, it's an ongoing crisis. These are the harsh truths about nursing. It's not just a job, it's a calling that demands everything from you. If you're considering this path, make sure you understand the risks as well as the rewards. Nursing is not for everyone, and that's okay. Stay safe, and thank you for watching. And as always, if you know a nurse, check on them, thank them, and love them. Sometimes we hide our pain. If you enjoyed this and would like more content describing what really goes on in the medical field, consider subscribing for more honest takes on the world of nursing.